Ta-da! Look what I found. A giant wheelie bin. It's awesome. It's huge. And I'm going to be making today a giant hydropulper. I'm going to call it the Sharkinator. It's going to be doing my initial pulping of plants. And I want it in bulk. So what we're going to do today is put a rotor on each end with shark's teeth on it, like it swirls around, and hopefully create a vortex inside this bin, and it's going to do our pulping for us. I'm really excited. Okay, bye. So here it is. Some beautiful big wheels. Oh yeah, it's nice and big inside. The first step in making our Sharkinator is to gather some materials. And the first thing we want is one of these chopping boards. It's a chopping board. And it's made of a sort of a very dense plastic, and it's very strong, very rigid. First thing I'll do is cut it in half. And now I'm going to draw a circle a little bit above halfway. Scrape around. Look at that. Awesome. Now, here's our three bits. Baseboard, top board, and circle. And I'm going to tape them together. The next step is to drill a hole right down through there. Awesome. That is a 25mm or 1-inch spade bit. Cut a thread through all these holes. So I'm going to use this. This is a rattle gun, but I've made my own thread maker, and it's M30 thread, which is what we're going to be using, and I've cut some grooves in it to do the cutting. Hole. You can see I've just taken that edge off. So it's 400mm, puts the rotor there. You can get this beautifully lined up. And then drill through. M30 threaded rod, and this is an M30 nut. Right, I'm going to screw our nut we've cut off onto there. The next stage is to put a couple of rubber seals and also some of this stuff, which is like bearing plastic. So we've got our little bearing sleeve, 2 rubber seals. So these are the type of what's used in water pumps and things to keep water out. So I'll put one in. So this is the little plastic bearing that the shaft spins in. It's going at 1400 RPM. So the hole has to be slightly bigger than the shaft. If you make the hole the same size as the shaft, heat builds up and it will jam. So I've learned the hard way to make the hole a little bigger. Quite cunning. You can tap this down into here. Seal just pops in the end there. There we go. Shaft through there. Awesome. This is the inside of the machine, and I'm going to pop a little bit of silicone around here. Next, I'm going to screw that onto here. Then this little piece goes on here. That is never going to come out. Here we go. So we can line everything up. There we go. Put a spring washer on and a nut. And pack everything back in. It's all fitted. go. So here I'm going to use an old pot which I've cut the top off, and what I want it for is the stainless steel. Ha! There we go, straight. So there it is, the Sharkinator rotor. And the reason why it's got these slopes is that the water level is here, and as these flick through the water it throws the pulp off it, and thus clearing the blades. Clever. On the back you can see these little grooves gouged into it, and they help fling the pulp out from behind the rotor so it doesn't jam. we're ready to put the rotor into the machine, so I'll pop a little washer on there, and I've put a little bit of grease on the shaft. You can see there, and in it goes. Now we lock this on with 2 little grub nuts. Now on goes the drive pulley, and tighten that up. Have a look at what I've got here. It's like a box with 2 arms sticking up, and across here I've bolted a steel plate with these 2 coming up, and that just goes onto there, and then the motor goes on here like this, like that, and then the fan belt connects the 2. Like that. Nuts on there, nuts on there, and away we go. Today is the day that we test our Sharkinator, and what could go wrong? I mean, when you invent something, well, it mightn't work, that's the horrible thing, and you've spent hours and hours and hours making it, and then it's a disaster. And that happened when I started making Hollanders. I had to rebuild them 6 times before that would even work. So I know the concept works for this machine, but I have never made one quite so big. So let's see what happens. Let's set it up and go, go, go. Now we'll wait for it to fill. Also put 2 handles on it, and these motors are quite heavy. They're 3 horsepower, and this is 2,800 RPM down to 1,425 RPM. I've put a guard up here, and it's to stop the pulp flicking out the top of the machine. It's working! Yes! Look! Look! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!